is Shadrach, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. In today's tutorial, I'll be taking you through the basic or the initial configurations of the Cisco switch and the Cisco router. But before that, let us look at some of the modes or the modules and the commands which are used in each mode, and these are the modes which are going to be guiding us on how to configure the router or the switch. Basically our our mode is normally the user mode, then the second was the privilege mode, the global configuration mode, and interface mode. The privilege mode is normally where we normally check all the running configuration that have been made on our router or the switch. Then under the global configuration is where all the configurations are normally carried on. Okay, so as you check here, is a simple topology, okay, of a network, and then let us try to check on how those modes look like. Here you can see this is a connectivity of a console cable. This is how in the real scenario the connectivity has to be, but in packet tracer you can just go on the device itself, then you click on it, then you can be able to access it. Okay, just click on it, then go under its interface mode, then you can be able to access it. Okay, so in reality you have to configure this. I'll show you towards the end of the video how in the real life you can connect the devices, okay, using the console cable and another software which is needed for you to access the terminal of the router or the switch. So you go on your router, then and my router, okay, so this is basically normally the first mode, which is the user mode. So you just run question mark, then you can find the commands which you can run under that. Okay, then you can check, you can see here this last command, okay, enables you or I to go to the next mode, which is the privilege mode, by typing enable. Okay, then you'll be in the privilege mode. Also, when you type a question mark, then you'll find the most commands which are normally used under that. Okay, then let us go to the global configuration mode, where all the configurations are done to affect the entire router, okay, or switch. So just run the command config. Here you can see this is the configuration, the command. All these commands which are last are the one which enable you to enter into the next mode. So type config or configuration terminal, then will be in the global configuration mode. So when you type also question mark, I can see what you can configure under that. Okay, the configuration you can run under that to affect the router or the switch. Okay, then when you go the interface mode, in case I want to affect an interface, assuming I want maybe an interface like gig+0, then you'll see I'll affect that. Maybe I put the IP on that interface, okay, whatever that I will need. Okay, so that's just the basic intro about the modes, okay, and some of the commands that you can run onto it. Perhaps when I go back to show command, normally under the privilege mode, when you want to find a command or something which or a configuration which has been made, so you have to run show, then the configuration that you're looking for. Maybe I'm trying to find what has been configured, then I can dash show running configuration, and I'll find some of the configuration which have been run. You can see here already I've configured this. Okay, these are my configurations that I've already carried on. So without wasting any more time, let us bump into the topic of today, the best configuration. So we shall go ahead and configure the host name or the name for the router. Okay, so the name for the router is, we shall give it, so to give a host name, the router or the switch command is host name. Then I'll give it maybe lab1. Okay, lab1, lab1, then lab1 router. Okay, that is the host name. Okay, and I'm giving it. Then I will assign it with the banner. Okay, this is just a message that in case someone you are logging on it, that's the message you normally get. Okay, so the command is that. Then open it with a symbol of your wish. Then you can close it, open it, then you hit enter. Then go ahead and type your banner of your wish. Then I'll just use access without permission. Is not allowed. Don't put much words, just simple. Then you close using the same arc I used to open it. Okay, that is it. So let me try to go back and I show you. When I just exit, then you can see it will pop up as my banner. It's normally the first message which pops up. Okay, then we need to assign an IP on an interface. Okay, as you check here, we already made our connectivity configuration. You can see right now this interface is up, so this is down, so we need to configure on that. So in your environment, you need to find out which interface is that, or you, as you are connecting your cable, then you'll find which interface is that. But in case you don't want to reach there, then I can just go ahead and enable, then say show the interface if. Okay, then it will show you how many interfaces you're having on a router. Right now, as you can see, I have two interfaces, 0, 0, then the 1. So you can see the 1 is configured, then I need to configure that. So I need to configure that. So config, then interface gig/0, then IP add. Okay, so these are different networks. So now shut down to put the interface up. Okay, as you can see right now, the interface is turning to be up. All right, so the another thing, we have to put a security key. Now security enables in case you're going to log in, request for the credentials. So we are going to have these different security passwords. So I'm going to, let me try to explain to you the enable and the secret password. So enable password normally puts your password in a clear format that anyone can be able to see it in a clear format. Then the secret encrypts your password. Okay, so in case I run enable password, then I put maybe cisco, then I say end, then I say show running configuration, then you can see the password is in clear format, something which is very dangerous to your system. Okay, so press Ctrl C or Z. So let us try to run the separate one. Enable secret. Okay, then I say cisco at 1 2 3. Okay, then when I say end and I say show running, you can see right now the password has been encrypted. Okay, remember when I try to access my router enable, then I put the first password cisco, then it will fail. So we try to use the second one. Okay, so you can see has been accessed. So the reason behind it is that the second password overrides the first one. Okay, so let us go ahead now. Let us go ahead and find out how we can configure the telnet. Okay, telnet and SSH normally are virtual terminals which enable us to access our router or switch at any point. Okay, instead of reaching them physically. Okay, I can be somewhere, I want to access my router or switch, then I can use those virtual terminals. Okay, so let us try to configure telnet on the router. Config, then line VTY. Okay, then it normally has support 16, where you can see 0 up to 15, which is normal. Everything starts with 0, so there are 16 virtual terminals. Okay, it includes that on 16 people can access or telnet the switch at once. Okay, beyond that you cannot be able to telnet. So put the line bit y, then password. I put cisco still at 123. So then login. Okay, login, so login local, then exit, give it a username. Okay, I give it infotech. Okay, then my password still will be cisco at 123. Okay, that is it. So in real environment you have to use login local, not login only, because you have to put a credential, you have to be knowing the name of the router and the switch. Okay, so that is it for telnet. Okay, then I'll skip the SSH since I've configured telnet on router. Then I'll show you also SSH on the switch. But in a real environment you can decide to use SSH only, that you configure SSH on the router and SSH on the switch, or you can decide telnet on a switch and vice versa. So let us also configure the console. Okay, so the console, just run line console 0 since it's only one. Okay, when at the back of, when the physical in the real environment, normally at the back of the router or the switch, the console port is normally 1 and it's blue in color. So put password, then I put the console, let me just put it test at 123, then login local. Okay, then exit, give it the username, I'll give it info. Okay, then password, just give it the same test at 1 2 3. Okay, that is it. Okay, so we have seen how we configure, separate, and enable password, the telnet, and the console. Okay, so let us go ahead and see. You can check now. When you run this telnet, normally the passwords are normally in a clear format. Okay, so when I say enable and I say show running configuration, then you'll see this is my first password. Okay, so you can check. When I check my console, and my telnet, you can see they're in clear format. So I need to try at least to encrypt them. Okay, though how much is not that strong, because someone can easily access it and can put that password and then put in the browser and you can access your router. So to try to encrypt them, just say run service. If you don't know the command, then just use question mark, then it asks you this. So I want to encrypt the password, so password, then to encrypt for you. So when I say enable end, then I say show running configuration. Perhaps you can see here you can see it has been changed, but in case someone accesses this and just copies it and puts it in your in the browser, then next to internet, then good to go, they'll access your password. So that's how risky password of the enable and the telnet are. So that is it. So let us go ahead and also disable the DNS translating servers. Okay, so in case I type a wrong password command, then the router or the switch will start translating that, thinking that it's a domain server, to look for that server. So in reality you have to disable that. So but here you can also run Ctrl Shift and 6 to disable it, but we need to disable it permanently. So config no IP, type the command no IP domain, look back. Okay, so in case I type a wrong command, just say just detect that, then wherever you type just say unknown command. So that is it. Then the login sequences is like repeatedly it disturbs you when you're logging on, it interrupts you are logging in when you're telnetting or trying to SSH. So you have to stop those logging sequences by running the command. But this one you have to configure this command when you're under the line VTY, then line VTY, then just run logging sequences. Okay, that's the command. Okay, then another command we're going to run is to describe the interface. Okay, that interface which is connected, maybe the router or the switch, for easy identification. Okay, so I'll have to check my router, which interface is that, show IP interface brief. Okay, and check. I need to describe this. Okay, this is for different network. I need to describe this one. Okay, remember this, when you check here, this is a 2, this is a 1, and you check here, this is a 2, so it's a different one, so it's on this one. So we need to describe that. So run config, then interface is /0, then description, say directly connected to main switch, maybe to switch 1. Okay, that's the name we're going to give the switch. So that is it. So when I run show running configuration, then let's check, and you can see the description. Here it is. Okay, that is it. Let us go ahead now and save our work. Okay, our configuration. So run the command copy running configuration to startup configuration. Okay, so it implies you're copying them from the temporary storage to the permanent storage. Okay, then this is normally the command which is recommended by Cisco. There is also write, which is also not, but you are not supposed to use that. It's recommended to use this. So mark how you run this command. Okay, if in case you type copy startup, it implies you are moving from permanent storage then to temporal storage. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so from there let us just go ahead and try to test, maybe to test our let's try to test our logging in, like the accounts and all that. So remember we gave it the username infotech, then test 1 2 3. Okay, then that is the username, you can see. So enable, then the second password, it will request for the password of the router. Okay, so it was cisco at 1 2 3. Okay, that is it. So in the real environment it will request like it is, it request for the username, then the password. Okay, so that is it. So let us go ahead and now, just pretend. Okay, we are now moving to the switch. Okay, so under the switch, so here we are on the switch. So we are going to run just the same commands. Okay, config, then our host name. Remember, yes, we said switch 1. Okay, then enable banner. Okay, it's banner, not enable banner, and what we did. Then access without is not allowed. Okay, then the conversation, then have to assign an IP. Normally in a switch it only has one management port, which is normally the VLAN. Okay, so how do you know that it's only one? So you can say show IP interface brief. Okay, you'll see normally it's normally one. Okay, can see and comes administratively down. Okay, manually unsigned. Okay, so it's normally the VLAN 1. Okay, you can just run show VLAN and you will see that it will give you that all the interfaces are under the VLAN name, which is the default one. It's normally VLAN. You can see it's 1 by default and it's active. Okay, all these ones are under it. All right, so let us go ahead and now configure the IP on that, something which is different from the router, because it has two but this one has only one. So you go ahead and say init or interface VLAN 1, then IP address, then give it the IP. Since it's in the same network, so I'll give it 2 channel shutdown. So when I exit, okay, when I say show VLAN, okay, then sorry, I'll just run show IP interface VLAN 1. Sorry, interface brief. Okay, so you can see right now it's manually up. Okay, this is the management port, is port on the switch. Okay, then we have to configure the default gateway. Yes, we have to configure the default gateway on the router. Why do you set a default gateway? Like that in case like now here I'm having a network, so I'm on this network but I want to access the switch, so I have to set a default gateway. Normally the default gateway is for that router which is connected on the switch that you need to access. Okay, like here this is the router and this is the switch, so I need to set the default gateway of this router on this switch. So what I do, I just go ahead and config, then IP default gateway, then that router. Okay, that is it. So I have also to put a description on it. Remember, I had skipped on this, so I have to put a description on that. Okay, so we need to check on which interface is up of the switch. Okay, so show IP, okay, maybe show interfaces. Okay, then normally it will reject normally the first interface. You can see now when you navigate around, you will see just a moment, then you look around, then you are not seeing any, and then you can check now. Here the interface is up. Okay, this interface, the first Ethernet 0/1 is up, so it implies this one is the one which is connected. When you check, when you go back, then you show IP interface brief. Okay, then you'll find out which one is which. Then you'll find that there is a 3, there is a 2. Okay, but now here, simplest of this, then you can just move here and you'll find which one is which. But in the real environment, you can determine them by putting, when you connect your cable, then you'll be able to see those connectivity, okay, on them. So you'll find them, so it will not need you to check on that if you're confused. So we go ahead now, say config, we need f/1, then description, then just give it directly any that you filled. Okay, connected to lab 1 router. Okay, that's my description that I've given. So when I say end, when I say show running configuration, then you can see, yeah, it is. Okay, so we are done with that. So now remember, we have to go ahead and now we have configured the default gateway, but we haven't configured SSH. Okay, the interface mode for accessing our router. Okay, so because when you check show SSH, okay, then you can say there's nothing configured on it. Okay, that's how you can do that. So run config, then IP domain name, okay, I'll give it infotech.com, then the username, I'll give it info, okay, infotech, then give it the privilege, okay, the privilege level of accessing, how many people can access, then I'll give it 15, then the separate password, okay, then I'll give it cisco at 123, okay, then I'll give it transport, okay, and now I have to assign the line VTY, okay, then I also have to give it that level, then I have to give in the transport, okay, how to access it. So we are going to access it via SSH, input SSH, okay, then can exit, you have to exit, then you have to generate the crypto key. Okay, crypto key is normally the key or the bytes which are generated, okay, or you assign manually, so that the higher bits is the more higher security that you have on your router or switch. So type key, then generate, okay, RS, okay, are you really sure you want to change that? Yes, then give now that's the highest one, 1 GB. So that is it. So we have also to disable the login synchronizers. Okay, those disable the login synchronizers and DNS. So run no IP domain lookup. Then even the login synchronizers, remember I told you have to be under line VTY. Okay, sorry. So login synchronizers. Okay, that is it. So remember we haven't configured for the console. Okay, when I end and say show running configuration, now can check configured SSH, but you haven't. You can check the console. Okay, where is it? Nowhere to be seen. Okay, haven't configured. You can see it is on 0. The reason you can see the way it's arranged, meaning the console is normally the first configuration which takes place. So I have to go ahead and configure the console. Okay, then console, okay, sorry, it's line console 0. Then password, we are going to give it test at 1 2 3. Then login local, then exit the username just infotech, then the password just leave it the same, just leave it by that. All right, it's okay. Okay, that is it. Sorry for that. That is it for that configuration. So let me run show running configuration. Then here you can see it. Yeah, the password is here now. Okay, but remember these passwords are in clear format, so we need to encrypt them at least. Okay, so run the command config, then type the command service password encryption. Okay, then when I say show running configurations, then you'll see at least they have been encrypted. Okay, but remember this password normally can be hacked by anyone. If someone accesses it and puts it in a browser with internet connectivity, then they can be able to decrypt and see the password. So normally SSH is the best for security purposes. So that's the connectivity. So let us go ahead now test our, you can say it's asking for the username. Okay, infotech, then test at 1 2 3. Infotech, okay, then you can check that is the password that you have. Now you can see that is accessing for the console configuration. So you can go ahead and now save our configurations. Okay, to the startup configurations. Okay, so that is it. So before we end the video of today, so let me just go back and show you in the real environment on how you can configure. Now in the real environment you need a console cable. To purchase a console cable, and you have to also download a software or an emulator program, okay, or software. So These softwares are free of charge, so we have like now in the game scenario you'll find the connectivity has to be like this. So you have like PuTTY, Hypertime, Nutella time, so you can select any that you feel comfortable. So the moment you connect this, connect on that, then you put on your, you have to first connect. Okay, after connecting, then log on your, put it on this on your emulator, okay, or in that software. Then the moment you log on it, when you say first time using the you're connecting with the console cable, then it will open for you the terminal, then it will be directly connected then serial end, okay, or serial port. So this is how the console cable looks like. It's normally blue in color. One end is the serial end and the other end is normally the RJ45. Normally the RJ45 is connected at the end, okay, behind the switch or the router. Then the serial end is normally connected on your router or on your machine, on your laptop or PC or desktop. So in case you don't have a serial port, okay, it's normally 15 port adapter. So normally that if you don't have it, then you have to purchase also the USB to serial converter, okay, like this, okay, or like this, so such that you can be able to connect it to your router via using the USB. And in a real scenario, this is how it looks like, okay. So that is how the real scenario looks like. So you, when after connect like this, so here let me show you, put this, so connect. Now if you connect, then you just go direct here, okay, then you'll be able to access that com, okay. You'll be able to access your, actually when you connect, immediately to take this, then you just click on open, then it will open for you. But since I have not connected, I don't have a console cable, then to do like that button. When you do that in the real environment, it will work for you, okay. So for you to access, maybe after configuring telnet SSH, so I just need to type the IP of the switch or the router that I want to access, then it will open for me. This is the terminal, it will open for me. Then I'll have to access my router or switch in wherever angle I'll be for its configuration. Thank you for watching and thank you for viewing. Please don't forget to subscribe.